What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in here on Thursday, what is now the first day of August, and this isn't going to be my typical video where it's really long and I'm going through a lot of different topics. I just want to talk about one thing in this one. Well, really two things. One of those is a couple of new Q drops that came a couple of hours ago, but the one thing I want to talk about is this news story that's blowing up in the media, circulating around the Twitter sphere, going all over, and it was posted by Yahoo just this morning. They're claiming that they've received an unpublicized FBI document that, as you can see the headline here states, FBI document warns conspiracy theories are a new domestic terrorism threat. Ha! Yes, we're going to analyze this, see everything that they're trying to put out into the public consciousness with this new attack against QAnon, attack against Q followers. Very important to be aware of what they're trying to brainwash everybody with. So we're going to take a look at that. We're going to take a look at a couple of new Q posts, but just want to promote a few things here that I have going on for you guys. First of all, shout out to all my Patreoners. Got a few new subscribers on there. Thank you to everybody for supporting me on Patreon. I basically utilize Patreon as like a thank you to everybody who wants to extend a little bit more of a support for me. So if you subscribe to Patreon at whatever dollar amount you want and can do, you get access to a few exclusive things. I do live chats on there. I do like live podcasts a couple of times a month, so you get access to those. You get access to easier direct messaging with me and some giveaways. I do product giveaways and swag giveaways, stuff like that a couple times a month too. And also, if you subscribe to my Patreon, you get a 15% off coupon code that you can use towards anything on my website. So perks for signing up. Thank you, Patreoners. Note on that though, there's no exclusive information on there. All the information I put out is free on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and all that. So Patreon's just for fun and just a thank you that I extend to those that subscribe to it. And then speaking of stuff on my website, there are some new things up. I got a new stock of shungite, orgonite, electromagnetic phone protectors. So this will help protect you from EMF frequencies, electrosmog. I've been getting some good feedback from this. People liking them, feeling a lot better when they put these on their Wi-Fi routers, mobile devices. Got some new pyramids, other orgonite stones pieces up on there. Getting some good feedback from my Ormus. People really liking this stuff. It's good stuff. I'm actually doing some plant experiments with this right now. So once I'm done with those, gonna film those, put them up on my channel. You can see that how strong, how potent this stuff is, and then getting some good feedback on the greens too. One woman told me yesterday that her kid loves this stuff. Super picky child, but her little boy actually loves drinking these greens. So check these out. Really easy way for those picky eaters and just get some good nutrition every day. So links for all that will be below. Now getting into new Q drops before we get into that Yahoo News article. So just two so far though. Let me refresh this just in case there's been one and I haven't seen it. Okay, so we just have two from a few hours ago. Q, first of all, giving us a Fox News article that, let's take a look at the headline. Department of Justice will not prosecute James Comey for leaking memos after IG referral, sources say. So a lot of people seeing this, they might go, what the heck? Comey's not getting prosecuted? Well, Q gives us a little bit of a bigger perspective here. Bigger slam dunk charges coming. Public understanding of events just around the corner. So, bigger stuff coming. That's why this isn't being prosecuted. And slam dunk meaning, yeah, that's going to be much more important than Comey being prosecuted for leaking some memos. A lot bigger things. And then this next drop, C comes before D, which really meant Coates comes before D class. We have to get Dan Coates. He's the director of the DNI, Department of National Intelligence, Director of National Intelligence. He has to get out of there before D class can happen. And his last day, I believe, is August 15th in that position. So once that happens, then I think we can get the ball rolling. A lot of people were expecting maybe some fireworks yesterday with Joe DeGeneva earlier in the week claiming that D-Class is going to start Wednesday. That didn't happen, but of course, you know, there's always false starts and disinformation is necessary, you know, things like that. It's just game theory, folks. So don't really hold on to any particular day. but nevertheless understand that it's a moves and counter moves thing that we have going on here. But as Q is saying, the month of August is traditionally very hot, i.e. we're going to get some hot stuff happening this month in August. And Q's saying you have more than you know. Here's another point, as some people were noticing this morning as well. On 8chan, on the Patriots Fight board, this is the board that Q basically set up last November to put some messages on there. It's been scrubbed. It's been scrubbed this morning. This is what it looked like before. Shout out to this tweet from, I'll link it down below, from Methods there. This is what it looked like before. Okay, so you can see that all the placeholders, you got all those there, placeholders that were posted 11/11, early November. There was one recent one, there you go, posted just like 2 days ago after Q posted the exculpatory evidence. So we had all these placeholders, they've been scrubbed, okay? Q has said in a previous drop that placeholder population will start August 2019. Let's see if I can quickly search for that drop here. Placeholder population, first placeholders, boom, population start August 2019 there. So I'm wondering if it's been scrubbed here because we're soon going to get those placeholders populated, i.e. August going to be a very hot month, i.e. D-class could very well happen within a couple weeks. But remember, Coates needs to be out before that can happen. So that's all we have in regards to new Q happenings this morning. Now let's get into that Yahoo News document here. So this is it. The headline again, FBI document warns conspiracy theories, not theorists, but these are the theories, the actual information itself. They're not attacking people now. They're trying to go for the information are a new domestic terrorism threat. As Yahoo News reports, let's read this. The FBI, for the first time, has identified what they're calling fringe conspiracy theories as a domestic terrorist threat, according to a previously unpublicized document obtained by Yahoo News. Questions in my head right here. How did they obtain it? Who did they obtain it from? It was not publicized beforehand, so why is it being publicized now, on this particular day? Logical cues, important cues. We're going to talk about a couple of those in a sec, but I want to continue reading. The FBI intelligence bulletin, it was an intelligence bulletin from the Bureau's Phoenix Field Office, dated May 30th, 2019, so written 2 months ago, according to Yahoo News here, describes, quote, conspiracy theory-driven domestic extremists as a growing threat, and notes that it is the first such report to do so. It lists a number of arrests, including some that haven't been publicized, related to violent incidents motivated by fringe beliefs. So, we've got this intel bulletin that was dated 2 months ago from the Bureau's Phoenix Field Office. I actually called the Bureau's Phoenix Field Office a couple of times a few hours ago, and I got no response. Nobody picked up. It went to voicemail, said email this particular email if you have a media inquiry. So I went ahead and emailed that email. I still have not gotten a response. So nobody picked up, no response. We're going to take a look at this actual document in a sec here and see some really weird things about it. So I'm just, haven't heard actually anything from the field office itself. It's all third-party stuff. So I would like actually confirmation whether this document is real or not, and whether it come from the Phoenix Field Office or not. But haven't had that yet. Everything we're going by here is just allegations, accusations from Yahoo News. They go on to write, the document specifically mentions QAnon, a shadowy network that believes in a deep state conspiracy against President Trump and Pizzagate, the theory that a pedophile ring, including Clinton associates, was being run out of a basement of a Washington, D.C. pizza restaurant, which didn't actually have a basement. So in that sentence right here, just a load of twisted context and fake news. Number one, QAnon, a shadowy network that believes in a deep state conspiracy against President Trump. Well, QAnon and QAnon followers are two very different things. It looks like they're trying to talk about QAnon followers as being a shady network when we're not a shady network at all. I'm not shady, and It's out there, all in the public domain. All of us Q followers that are putting this information out there into the public consciousness. If we're going to talk about QAnon itself, well, here that fake news isn't going to write. And then along the lines of Pizzagate here, they say that it's a theory that a pedophile ring, including Clinton associates, was being run out of a basement of a Washington, D.C. pizza restaurant, basically Comet Ping Pong. Also fake news. Nobody that does the research on Pizzagate is claiming that a trafficking ring or a pedo ring was being ran out of Comet Ping Pong's basement. Not being ran out of the basement. Basically, it connects the owners of Comet Ping Pong into various rings, but we're not saying that it was ran out of the basement. And I like the parentheses here, which didn't actually have a basement. You can go back to James Alefantis' quotes from the middle of 2015, actually April 2015. There's quotes of his where he's giving interviews to magazines about Comet Ping Pong and the food that's made there, and he's talking about it having a basement. And then after the John Podesta emails came out, the WikiLeaks emails, then James Alefantis goes on record and does interviews where he's saying, no, there's no basement. Total contradiction. So fake news there. And then it quotes from this actual document. The FBI assesses these conspiracy theories very likely will emerge, spread, and evolve in the modern information marketplace, occasionally driving both groups and individual extremists to carry out criminal or violent acts, the document states. It also goes on to say the FBI believes conspiracy theory-driven extremists are likely to increase during the 2020 presidential election cycle. Let me say here, okay? Q has been around for nearly 2 years now, and since Q has been around, I've done, I don't know how many different talks and events and have gone to conferences, but basically what I'm saying here is that I've met thousands. I've met thousands of people over the last 2 years who are all QAnon followers. They've been at the events and said hi to me and been at my talks. I have not met one person that I would classify as being violent, that I would classify as being a domestic terrorist, that I would classify as being any sort of extremist. Have not met one, okay? So let's go off personal experience here rather than approved narratives, okay? And not just that, but the closest thing that I personally had ever gotten to violence was from a heckler I had after one of my talks who was actually an anti-Q disbeliever, non-follower. He was very anti-Q. That's the closest I came to violence. He came up and started heckling me and yelling at myself in the crowd. So, fake news 101. And that's basically all to go over in terms of this story. They're just talking about what the Intel Bulletin is saying, etc., etc. So now let's check it out. Let's go to the scribed.com page here and check out this document. So let's see who uploaded it first. We're going to go through all the ins and outs, okay? When you are analyzing claims, allegations, accusations, mainstream media articles, whatever the case is, you need to go over every single little detail, okay? So, date posted, who posted it, who are they claiming their sources are, how are they claiming they got the information that they supposedly got, right? So, uploaded by Kelly Grant. Kelly R. Grant is apparently a photographer for Yahoo News, all right? So, she's the one that uploaded this document. Again, Yahoo News in their article didn't say how they obtained it, who they got it from, so that's still a question mark. But nevertheless, it was uploaded by a photographer for Yahoo News, Kelly Grant. She called it the FBI Conspiracy Theory Redacted. Really professional there, I suppose. Now let's get into this. So this is what it looks like. It says it's unclassified, law enforcement sensitive, and the title of it says anti-government, identity-based, and fringe political conspiracy theories very likely motivate some domestic extremists to commit criminal, sometimes violent activity. Ha! Very convenient title for their approved narratives, correct? Here's a few things I noticed. First of all, first page of this document right here, very bottom, we've got a note, says FY19 Intelligence Bulletin. Maybe that means fiscal year 2019 Intel Bulletin. Okay, but nevertheless, under that, you can see, let me zoom in here. You can see on your screens, it says template effective 10/1/2018. This is just on the first page. This is not on any other page. You can see FY19 Intelligence Bulletin. First page, Boom. Template effective. Did they forget to delete that when they were making this? Is that supposed to be there? You know, I'm not familiar with unclassified or sensitive FBI documents, but template effective. I mean, it's like that was forgotten to be erased or something like that. Not just that, but it goes through this document itself, the supposed violent acts or arrests that have taken place by alleged extremists that were allegedly motivated by conspiracy theories. It's all the freaking setups. It's all the false flags. See? They're talking about the QAnon conspiracy theory believer that drove onto the Hoover Dam in June of last year. It's talking about the synagogue shooter there in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, that was inspired or motivated by conspiracy theories, anti-Zionist conspiracy theories. They're talking about the Pizzagate shooters in here. Talking about the Pizzagate shooter. Where's he at? Sandy Hook. Talking about the guys down there in Tucson, Arizona that were referencing QAnon. Here we go. The Comet Ping Pong shooter that went in there in December 2016. Remember the guy that had an IMDb page who was actually an actor that we've got recent news come out about it, who was cuffed and then uncuffed and then recuffed and taken down to the precinct as if, you know, the police would just have an active shooter uncuffed in public there to question him. No. All these events, COINTELPRO 101, guys, counterintelligence 101, those, and just false flags 101 too. Completely set up events so they can then run the narratives and attack QAnon, attack conspiracy theories in the mainstream media, run these articles with, oh yeah, look at this, these violent people that were catalyzed by conspiracy theories. No, they're freaking setups, dude. We're not stupid. So that's that. And last thing, okay? So we've got the weird, which one was it? The template effective, you know, as if this was just written from a template. Granted, I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if this was a fake, but it's a very intricate fake. So it wouldn't surprise me if it's not faked, but there's so much fake news in it, just the twisted context. It's false. And not just that, but down here, you're going to love this one. You're going to love it. Let me find it. They actually reference, number one, might be on a lower page. They actually reference Snopes right there. You can see online news articles. That's their freaking reference. That's their source. The FBI is literally sourcing Snopes. The roots of pedophile ring conspiracy theories. To September 2018. There's the article that the FBI is sourcing for their claims in this. And check this out. They actually say that Snopes is the oldest and largest fact-checking website on the internet. Holy facepalm, Batman. The FBI is claiming that Snopes is credible. A credible fact-checker. They're linking Snopes. And not just that, but the FBI is also linking Wikipedia. They're linking Wikipedia as a credible source for their claims in this article. It's like, dude, back when I was in high school, 10, 15 years ago, my high school teachers told me not to source Wikipedia because it's not credible. But apparently for federal investigators, Wikipedia is credible enough for them to create unclassified reports with. Intelligence bulletin. If you're sourcing Snopes and Wikipedia for an intelligence bulletin, it's not so intelligent of a bulletin, is it? Seriously, dude, I mean, people on 8chan, myself, other citizen journalists, digital soldiers out there, are we truly better investigators than some of these federal Wikipedia? So, all right, that's that. We know that this intelligence bulletin, if it's not fake, if it is real, if it was actually made by some FBI agents there and put out of the Phoenix field office, very poorly done. And of course, it was reposted, publicized by Yahoo News here, which is a pillar of fake news there for the legacy media, for the deep state. So, all right, let's finish up here. Last few things. Let's theorize. Let's speculate as to who may have created this document and what their motive, what their intention was. So again, if it's not faked, if it is real, I get the feeling that it could have been made by some NOCs, non-official cover agents, basically some plants that infiltrated maybe a local FBI field office and wrote this to get it out. Okay, so maybe some CIA assets were able to infiltrate into the FBI, wrote this, put it out just to, you know, get something for the mainstream media there. Possibility, who knows, you know? Just because this came out of a local field office of the FBI, does it mean that headquarters approved it? Does it mean that Christopher Wray knew about this? You see what I'm saying? So there could still be some infiltration in like lower levels of the FBI, and this is happening. Maybe some NOCs got it out there. Who knows? So that's a possibility. Or here's another theory in my head, speculation. What if this was purposely done to be like a Trojan horse? Because they know, the FBI, the white hats, we could say, they know that the mainstream media, they're just desperate. They're foaming at the mouth. They're chomping at any bit they can get to run in the media for their narratives. So what if they purposely made this, botched it, you know, cited Snopes, cited Wikipedia, put a bunch of fake news in here, and then sent it out to Yahoo News for them to use in the future and just be very easy to deconstruct for all of us, very easy to discredit. Could have been. So that's just a couple idea speculations. Nevertheless, we'll see how all the pieces fit. I just heard about this a few years ago and did some quick research, so we'll see, you know, in the future how the dust settles, how the clarity becomes. And then last thing is that, well, we want to be wary of the narratives. You know, they're going to try to paint Q followers, the QAnon movement, conspiracy theorists as being violent and crazy. So if any sort of false flag happens in the very near future, yeah, you know what their agenda is going to be with that. You already know that they're, I mean, where was I going? It was just in my head with this, but I'm sort of drawing a blank with this one. But anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to cover with this. Oh, also the timing. That's what I wanted to cover, the timing of this. Coming out on August 1st and being written, according to Yahoo, 2 months ago. It's just the timing, guys. Look at the timing. 2-3 days ago, Trump retweets multiple accounts that have where we go all and hashtag QAnon all over their timelines. One of them gets banned by Twitter. Then, you know, we've got this Great Awakening rally that myself and Dylan from Educating Liberals and a lot of other folks are trying to get to and get our voices heard at. Daily Beast running some hit pieces on that yesterday. Then D-Class is very... They were waiting. That's why it hasn't been publicized. That's why it's an unpublicized document obtained by Yahoo News. They've been waiting to publicize it for the particular time to put this out there, get it around, start painting conspiracy theorists and Q followers is crazy, and then, you know, just be wary of the false flag coming up. So that's all. Eyes open, everybody. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with me on this live stream. Went a little bit longer than I wanted to, but very important topics that we have here. So a lot more will be coming. I'll be back very soon, later today, maybe tomorrow morning, with the next video. Appreciate all of you, and get the truth out there, guys. If you see people talking about this, tweeting it, posting this article about the FBI warning conspiracy theories or domestic terrorists, tell them, dude, the FBI is sourcing Snopes in this. The FBI is sourcing Wikipedia. How freaking credible is that? Ha! It's not. So, there you go. That's all for this one, guys. Appreciate you all. Take care.